Training Day. Life's an everyday adventure. That's my philosophy. Today I helped my mother pack up some old books in the attic. It was warm outside, which made it really hot in our attic. All that heat made me want to think of cold things, so I thought of ice cream. I asked my mother if we could get ice cream when we were finished, and she agreed. I ordered the largest, wackiest ice cream combination I could think of. It was so big, my mother decided to share it with me. We sat on the bench and devoured our delicious treat. Suddenly, I heard lots of loud footsteps. When I looked up, I saw a bunch of runners whipping by us. The wind they created made my hair go flying. Whoa! What was that? I asked as my toes tingled like crazy little runners in my moccasins. My mother told me as she put her hair back into place that they were athletes preparing for the big city marathon. Marathon? Isn't that when you run and run forever and the end is in the next town? I asked. She giggled as she answered, "Yes, sweet pea, something like that. Running a marathon is a big deal, and you have to train very hard for it." Training sounded like fun. By the time we finished the ice cream, I had decided I would like to train for something too. "What would you like to train for, sweet pea?" my mother asked. "The Olympics," I stated without skipping a beat. On the way home, my mother explained more about the Olympics to help me decide which sport I wanted to do. There are summer sports like running, swimming, jumping, and gymnastics. Then there are winter sports like skiing, snowboarding, and ice skating. By the time we got home, my mind was spinning with sporty ideas. Just then, the dog barked at the front door, and I knew it was Thelma the mail lady. I ran to say hello. "Hello, Molly. You're an awfully fast runner. Did anyone ever tell you that?" Thelma said as I gave her a huge hug hello. "That's it! Thanks, Thelma. See you soon," I said as I raced back to tell my mother that I wanted to train to be a runner. My mother was pleased I had chosen something to train for, and she said she would meet me in the backyard in 5 minutes. I laughed when I saw my mother. She had a baseball cap on, a stopwatch and whistle around her neck, and a clipboard in her hand. "Training day has officially begun," she said, and then blew her whistle. The first thing we had to do was warm up with lots of stretches. We stretched our legs, arms, ankles, wrists, and neck. It felt great. Being a runner in the Olympics already felt like a super idea. Next, we did some running. My mother called them running drills. I drilled from one side of the yard to the other. I did it so many times I lost count, but my mother kept track, using her stopwatch and clipboard. "Great job, sweet pea. Now let's take a little break and do some lunges," she said as she demonstrated what a lunge was. I had never heard of or seen a lunge before, but I was happy to do them if it would help me get to the Olympics. Just when I thought training was over, my mother said she wanted to continue to work on my leg strength. She asked me to begin hopping around like a bunny. I was beginning to get a bit tired when my father arrived home. By the time I hopped over to him, my mother had given him the gear and went inside to prepare dinner. "So, you want to be an Olympic runner?" my father asked. "Sure do," I answered as I kept hopping. "Great, let's keep training," he said. He asked me to run for 3 counts, then stop for 3 counts, over and over again. It was something he learned when he coached soccer years ago. This drill was meant to help my brain and body work together. I didn't think I had the energy to do anything else, but my father did. He set up some pink cans in the yard. He told me it was a course I was to run through. It would help me learn to keep my balance as a runner. I asked my father if I could sit down for a bit, And he said happily,
"Sure, you'll be in the perfect position for sit-ups. If you want to be good at something, Miss Molly, it is a lot of hard work."
I couldn't believe it. Training day still wasn't over. I did my sit-ups as my father instructed as best I could. Then, finally, we stretched again to cool down. Who knew muscles had to warm up and cool down? I certainly didn't. As I did my last stretch, my mother arrived with a large glass of cold water. I drank it faster than I had ever drunk anything in my whole life. Wow! Training for the Olympics was much harder than I thought it would be. We all went inside to eat, but I didn't quite make it through dinner. I fell asleep at the table. All I needed was one training day to realize how much hard work it takes to be really good at something. Molly Moccasins, everyday adventurer!